Okay, I am live. Cool. So, no particular agenda for today other than having fun. And what are some cool plugins to try? Let's see. Arturia. What should Farfisa is a fun plugin. I never used it. Oh no. I never use it. I had no idea. Alright. Never mind. Is this all the Arturia stuff here? Piano. It's not all of it because piano 3 is not here. Ah. So it's not all here. How do I have it here? PSD. All of that stuff. The RX. So I want to look for more Arturia things. So slow at that. Very slow today. Yeah, Soundtoys have been acting weird with Ableton for whatever reason. Okay, where is, like, if I go to piano VST, okay, here. So that's the folder that I should be looking at. It's a bunch of stuff in here. Okay. XO, my beloved XO. Okay, Wurlitzer. All right. So the sustain. Okay, so that's it's sounding cool. Some of these plugins I wish they can be a little. So to increase the volume, you can use, instead of just the regular volume knob, you can have a plugin like Indent or some other saturation plugin, but basically what it does is it introduces harmonics and saturation, so you can make things louder and fuller without actually using the volume control. So that's one way to go about it. And now here in the Wurlitzer, the way that the signal is shaped in a plugin like this is that it goes first from this piano, which is kind of like generating the sound, and then it goes through all of these effects here. So it's basically the same as I would have this piano, and then I can have any other plugins after it. So let's say instead of this analog delay unit here, I can have my own, let's say, Valhalla delay. And it's basically, it's going to be a different plugin, a different sound, but it's the same place in the like in the signal chain. So when you create a sound, it's basically, it follows the same path this way. And it kind of looks like they are hard kind of wired, like the order of those plugins is always the same. So it's always first reverb, then chorus, then phaser, then flanger. Or maybe there's a way to rearrange them, but I don't know how. Also with those Arturia plugins, a cool thing is there's always a way to like open the lid of a piano and like look at the controls inside of it. So you can hit advance or this part over here, and there is some equalizer, some graphic equalization. So I can shape the EQ here. And then there's all this cool modeling controls inside. So the vibrato and the volume, that's self-explanatory, but then there is the pickup distance, pickup axis, the hammer hardness. That's really cool. Oh, there's some tuning thing. Probably keep it at the lowest setting. So they are basically like there's some algorithm that models the sound, this Wurlitzer, and then there's some controls, some controls that you can interface how this algorithm is working. Cool. Let's start with that. It's in 3. I never do songs in 3. It's cool. And then it's gonna go to. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Not using this guy. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh wait, wow! I forgot to change it to 3. Okay. Now we're on, I think. Okay, yeah. Oh no! Again. Okay, I like the timing of that quite a lot. But so if I already feel like the timing is good, but I just want to push it a little bit more towards like the quantized, like timing perfect, quote unquote. I can go to the quantization, which is on my PC is the Control-Shift-U, and then the amount I often just have like 25%. And then if I want to do any more of that, like any more 25%, which is it's just never going to add up to 100% because it just I can do a couple more times. And also on the first note, when I'm going to, if you have a part like that you want to repeat or loop, make sure that the beginning of it is not cut off. If I would just copy it from here, it doesn't play because the beginnings are gone from this part. So it's very important to have the beginnings of the notes in the clip, and then you select the whole thing, and then you can kind of see where I can see those three measures here, or 3 beats actually. It's something like that. And then when I copy it over, the beginnings are here, so I can safely duplicate it or loop it. Okay. So far we have the Wurlitzer and the unfiltered audio distortion indent too, but still the sound doesn't sound like on a record, doesn't sound like on a song. It needs some more sound design. So a really cool way to go about it is to use some filters. So in Ableton there is the really cool auto filter plugin, and I like to select something else than the clean, like, because the other ones have some cool distortion, like this drive knob just appears here. It's not on clean, but with the others it's here. And then I will filter some of the high end, and then with the drive can add some cool saturation. So I want, and now to make this sound less static, I want to automate the filter to basically move back and forth, and I will do it with the LFO here. So the amount will control how much of this modulation is happening, and then the rate, I want it to be in the tempo, so I will select this control here, and then it lets me select what's the rate of it. And I want it to go like boom, 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 maybe. So let's see. It's too much of this amount, and maybe too much of the resonance as well. Okay, let's see some other. Okay, that's great. And now the offset, if you're listening on the headphones, it will create a difference between left and right. So it will sound wider and kind of more just wider and more present, like in the panorama. So it's not gonna be only centered around the middle, but it's going to be all around you. So like headphones recommended on that. The offset of the face. Yeah, it's very cool. I kind of like it very low here, so just doing this pulse, but it's like you don't even hear that it's a Wurlitzer at this point. It's very cool, very moody, very moody. Okay, cool. Let's go more with the Arturia plugins. So now the classic, amazing piano V3. And as always, let's go to the advanced and let's see those different. So there's those different piano models that they have a very different personality to them. And now I can go to the model here section and I can shape them further. So I kind of want like a classic, maybe upright, like let's see, jazz upright piano. Yeah, that's cool. And then it's really cool when you turn this hammer hardness down and then playing with the position of it. It has just different sound than like a typical sampled piano. Just some more controls. Okay, and then with the effects here, small plate, what's the spring? A spring reverb is typically found on like guitar amps, like a Fender amps would have a spring in it for a reverb, and it just has an interesting. It sounds different than like a hall or like what is here, like large concert hall. Spring is more like kind of metallic sounding, which is it's a cool way to design the sound. Like it's a cool effect in the sound design. Oh, I always go to this major here. Why do I do it? So also, instead of using a filter to control those high frequencies, another like interesting sound is going to sound different, but is to control the lid position of this piano. So basically, like have a lid open, it's going to be brighter, and the more you close it, the less of these high frequencies will be captured. So like if I go from open to close, it just has less of this high end. But it also sounds different than just like a regular filter. It's kind of more muted. The hammer hardness is also changing the how much high end is there. Okay, let's go from here and let's do it again. Okay, that was cool. So now I like the timing of it, but it still could be a little bit closer to the grid. So again, I will go to the quantization settings and just set it to around 20-25% and then apply. And then I can repeat it again because it remembers the settings. So I can just press Ctrl U a couple times and it's gonna do it again. And when it's even just like 25%, it's a really cool value because it still captures the most of your performance, so it doesn't like completely make it rigid to the grid, but at the same time it is a little bit more in time. So I find that like the 25% is a good value for quantization. Okay, and let's take the whole thing. Okay, so it looks like at the end this got quantized to the wrong note here. Maybe. Okay, that's cool. That's nice there. I was wondering if it's the right note there, right rhythmic value, but I think it is. Okay. There's different ways to start a beat or start a track. Like in this case, I'm starting from this sustained pad, a sort of piano with a Wurlitzer blend, and it creates some mood. And it's just a different workflow if you would start from drums and then add this sort of chords on top of the drums. But in this case, this piano pad is sort of like leading the way. So just different possibilities. But then at this point, I want to add some more drums and have some rhythm in it. With samplers like that, I would often pick a sample, manipulate it with those controls here, and then I will print it into Ableton and manipulate it further with the Ableton tools. So I'll just hit record, play it once, and then I go here and I do freeze and flatten. And now I have it here as a audio file. So I just make sure that it's precisely where it's starting. And now here I can go to the warp, and then I can play with the pitch and formants and some other cool stuff. So with drums, it's actually really cool to have them pitched down sometimes. It just has a really cool thing, like an octave lower. And then play with those formats and envelope. It's kind of cool actually. It's very like hollow sounding, which is cool. Yeah, this is dope. It's very unconventional sounding kick drum. then I can. So now for a kick drum like that, to cut through, the saturation will really help it in this track. So I will go to the audio effects in Ableton and the saturator. It's a really cool device. It has those different clipping algorithms. For a kick like that, like I don't want to make it too heavy. Like medium curve is really cool if you want something a little bit heavier. But for this one, either analog clip or soft sine for like a softer sort of, it's kind of a mellow thing. And also to add some attack to this sound, I can go to the RC20, and here I will just turn off the Wurlitzer piano for a sec. But here in the RC20, I will just use the noise section and turn follow up. So it's basically going to play this noise whenever the audio is playing. So it will layer noise on top of the kick drum and just add some more punch to it this way. Check it out. Just some more definition and some more attack in the high end especially. Yeah, I probably like it more after the saturator. It's kind of too much when it's saturating with the noise on it. And then another really cool part of the RC20 is this low cut filter here. You can have it like very resonant, and it's especially cool for low end elements like the kick drum or bass, because it will just, this frequency, whatever it is, it will sort of exaggerate it and saturate it some more. So check it out. Like if I sweep it like from 200 down, it will just, you can really hear how the low end is becoming fuller whenever it's like resonating. So that's a little bit too low, but I find that around, for this sound, around like 50 to 60. Yeah. That's without the EQ. And with this filter, it might be distorting a little bit, so I will turn the gain couple dB down to make sure that there is no distortion, no digital distortion. And then after that, let's have another saturation plugin, the indent, and let's just have it to hard clip, just to push it a little bit louder. Okay, it's sounding nice. I want to create some more atmospheric sounds now. So actually I will take the XO again, and I will just pull a bunch of other sounds that I can manipulate further later on. Okay, so a bunch of these sounds I can definitely play with them and then create something that I'm thinking about. So I will just solo XO, and then to take this sound out of XO into Ableton, I will select the input for this audio track to be the XO, and then I can hit record, and now the audio is recording. And then when I go to XO and I play this sound, you can see here that they are captured in Ableton. So I will grab a couple more, and now I have basically resampled them from XO, and I can manipulate them further with the, especially here with the Ableton warp, pitch, and the time stretching. And also what is really cool for resampling, I will create another audio track here and then set the input for this track from my audio track here. And it's basically going to capture everything that's happening on this track, whatever effects I have here, whatever reverbs, delays, etc. It will basically record them back to this audio track here. And I am just experimenting right now. I don't have any particular sound in mind. I'm just throwing stuff, but I wanted to make sure that it's captured and nothing gets lost in this process. So I will hit record, and I will just play with this delay here. Oh wait, I have to make sure that the record enable is on the right track though. So now all of that stuff was captured on this new track. Now I will just delete these two tracks because I don't want to use them anymore, but now I have all this cool stuff captured on this. Like, this is a really cool part. When I have something like that recorded, I will just go through it and look for some happy accidents basically that happened during the when I was experimenting with the sound design. Okay, so that's a cool, it's a cool part because it's sort of accelerating a little bit. I think I was playing with the time on this delay, so I will take this part. Oh yeah, this is very cool. Just like this beginning of that. Yeah, this might be cool too. It's very like rhythmic, so I might actually stretch it to fit the timing of my tempo here. Yeah, a tail of this delay here is really cool. Let's take that, and then it's very fast. So it might be cool. It might be cool to actually make it even faster here with the Ableton Warp. So now those are just the repeats from the delay. There's no dry signal on this here. And that's kind of cool because the delay makes them sound more filtered and kind of smeared a little bit. So I can take these and shift them so they fit the tempo and do something with them. Oh, and now here's some more, I think it's some more diffusion. You can see even how the delay makes it more stereo. Like, there's a difference between the left and the right channels on this delay. The delay time is slightly bit different on left and right. So if you're on headphones, you can really hear the difference between left and right here. Okay, all of these are really cool. Oh, I love this sound too. Let me just make it louder actually. So it sounds like the delay time was automated down here. So it was kind of like longer and longer actually. So it started with a low value, and then it sounds like I was just turning it up. So it's kind of like slows down here. Check it out. It's so cool. It's a cool effect. Let's take this. Oh, and definitely it's happening here as well. Yeah, this is dope. Okay, these are amazing. But let's start with a couple here. So I have a couple dry ones and a couple of those sort of like more spacious, diffused ones. So I'll take some of the... Okay, so there's a couple of those dry ones here. So I will treat them separately from the diffused sounds later on. So I will put them on a separate track, and then basically they are kind of all over the place rhythmically. So there is a couple possibilities how I can put them more in time. I can either go one by one and make sure that the beginning is right and shift them to the grid to match the grid. And that's one way to do it. I can just go one by one and make sure that everything is in tempo and on the grid. And there's another one. And another method is to go to the Ableton warp here, and then over here I can manipulate the timing as well. So let's say I wanted to hit on every quarter note. I can take it here and stretch those warp markers so it fits the tempo. It's probably faster to do it that way because I don't have to like go in and cut and then look exactly where it's supposed to be. It's right in time. Oh, there's one more here even. Maybe. Excuse me. Okay. So first, let's actually put them right in the tempo, and then I can play further with copying and pasting, like from different parts to kind of match, copy and match and make something cool. Okay, so actually the first bit is the most interesting one here. Oh wait, it's just here. So again, I just move them to the grid here, and this way I can really make sure that they are in time. And it's really fast in Ableton to do it. You just go to the warp in the clip and everything is there. Okay, so now let's make some actual hi-hat pattern with it. It's actually cool with this kick drum here. Like maybe like that. Then here maybe start on the... like that. The last one is kind of maybe, wow, the last one actually. It's kind of cool how it ends, so maybe like let's take the ending again. Maybe just the beginning of this one, actually. Let's take the beginning out. Like that maybe. So maybe in the end, let's have something more defined again. So like this one and this one have sort of more definition to them. Because this part is sort of supposed to be more rhythmic. And then the other part will be contrasting because it has more of these long sort of smeared sounds. But this one, it's still atmospheric, but it's supposed to have more of this like rhythm to it. So that's cool. I will Control J is basically join. I think that's probably what it means. Control J, and it basically creates a new audio clip like I have before. All of these parts that I have been chopping and copying and moving around, and I just select the timeline, the part of the timeline that I want to consolidate into one clip, and then Control J. And it's easy to move it around now. Easy to copy if I want to. And then let's have some more of these washed out sounds. It's really cool when it's happening with this delay, changing the time. It's such a cool sort of unpredictable way of creating sounds. Oh, I like this double sound here, so let's take that as well. Oh yeah, and the last one is amazing too, this one. Okay, let's just take this. Let's just take these couple sounds here, and then so for creating an arrangement with those rhythmic parts, this rhythmic percussion that's at the same time catchy and sort of like memorable, but not too predictable, I will have this one part playing basically the same thing over and over again. So that's sort of like supposed to get in your head and like keep you going and like keep rhythmic. But the other part will be more random and sort of like it repeats every 8 bars maybe. Not like every single bar the same, but like every 8 or 16 bars is like unique. So let's see. I can layer them maybe like that. With the kick drum too, let's hear. Yeah, it's cool. Maybe like. Yeah, it's kind of cool when you have this long, it's almost like a reverb at this point, but you cut it off. It's kind of like playing with the space. It's like, it feels like a big space, but then all of a sudden, cut, it's out. So that's a cool way to sort of play with the perception in your listener, that they hear this huge space, but then all of a sudden it's out. it's a cool, interesting way to do it. I have this one. Let's see where can it go. Yeah, this is cool, maybe like that. Okay, what's next? Maybe again here. Oh, maybe actually a little bit longer. And then let's see. Oh yeah, this is the really cool one. So with something like that, when I have this end is really cool, I may take just this ending and maybe I can try to reverse it. So I just hit R and now it's reversed. So it's kind of like a cool, like a wind up, sort of like before the kick drum maybe, or somewhere. Let's see. So like it can be. So maybe like just before this one here, I will have a little bit of this sort of accelerating, speeding up, and then like on one it just maybe even leave a little break here. Yeah, and then like this kick drum here is okay. How many bars do I have here? So I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's basically the next one. So let's take some more. Yeah, those double sounds are so nice. Like here maybe. Like that, just like a very short. It's also cool when you have a percussive sound like that, but it's pretty unpredictable sometimes what happens if you reverse it. So I'm going to again press R, and then like it's in the beginning here, it's a reversed, it's kind of like a reversed hi-hat here. Yeah, it's interesting to do it with percussion and drums and just see what happens when you reverse it. Probably not in this case, but yeah, again, that's a cool delay time automated here and printed. So and then maybe like a little bit of that later. Actually, maybe. Maybe like at the end here. Like to end the. All right. Wait, something seems off here. Oh yeah, that's why. Because it's supposed to be later. So now that I have this pretty busy hi-hats here, there's a couple ways that I want to approach them. So I will first of all create a group for them so I can do some EQ on everything combined. and I will go to the EQ8 in Ableton. And for a part like this, I don't want so much high end really, so I will attenuate the high end. And then, since I have two distinct patterns here, one is more of a rhythmic and the other one is more sort of more spacious and also more unpredictable, but I want to pan them in opposite directions. So instead of just using this Ableton panner here, there's a cool plugin. It's called Pan Pod by Goodhertz, and then it allows you to control not only the level, like this is the regular pan in Ableton, basically it's the level, but it also has the delay and spectral and the phase, which is combined together. I will pan them in opposite directions, so I will copy this one and just put it the other way here. If you're on headphones, it's just unbelievable sound. It's just so wide and so spacious, and it sounds like it's panned like behind my head or something. Like it's amazing. Yeah, it's a cool thing for a song, possible. All right, I will get going for today.